guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Vintagelori, and today we are back at it again with the content that you did not ask for, but you are what you are gonna get. So you want to work at Sephora. It's your dream job. You want to work there. You don't know how to get in. You've tried everything, but everything is not working. Come to the right place. Not that I would do this again, but for you guys, I will. So give me 1 second. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you all my tips and tricks on how I got a job at Sephora. Let's get comfortable because we're about to get into this. Okay, so there's a couple of ways that you can get a job at Sephora. The first way, sorry for the alarm. There's like cops. You can probably hear that. Sephora has different terminologies and it's really kind of confusing. Areas that you'd be working in. So skincare, fragrance, cash, and backstage where you would do like boxes and packaging and putting out products, making sure everything's received and shipped and everything like that. So there's different worlds and areas that you would work in. And then they have this thing called the stage, which is the floor which you're on and you're selling and you're like, hey, have you tried this makeup brush? It's amazing. You need it. Here, put it in your basket. So there's different ways of selling, direct sales. So there are different worlds, there are different sales tactics, there are different things, and that's with any company that you're working with. But Sephora is just a little bit different because of the artistry and just how you are dressed up. Wear professional clothes to your interview. You should be professional. I don't want to see you coming in with no ripped jeans and a tank top talking about you trying to get a job at Sephora. You need to wear professional clothes. About Sephora is you can literally go in with hair like this. You can go with hair like this, you can go in with a turban, like a head tie. You can go in with a short cut. Every day you can go in with a new hairstyle. You can go in with makeup like this. You can just do the most. You can go in with, you know, the only thing is that you can't, well, when I was working there, hopefully they changed it, you can't really wear big hoops like this because it could be a safety hazard. But child, I always wear my hoops and they try to talk to me, but I wasn't having it. I would still wear it because I don't care. You girls thug. So, like I said, there are different ways of getting hired into Sephora, referrals, etc. And there are different terminologies than most makeup stores that you would be working for. So there are certain questions that they're gonna ask you, and there are certain sneak attacks that are gonna happen. So some of the questions that they're gonna ask you is, what is the best manager you worked for and why? So you're gonna wanna be honest, you're gonna wanna be like, oh, I liked this manager. What I said was, I liked my former jewelry manager because she was very strict, she was very stern, she was pushing me to be the best that I could be, but even though she was very serious and very stern, she just made me really happy because I knew that deep down she really liked me and she just really wanted the best for me and she pushed me to be a better sales. And it was true, I wasn't lying, I really did like that manager. But if you didn't have a manager, saying something along those lines is kind of like, oh, okay, like this girl isn't gonna be upset if I give her some harsh criticism, if I pull her aside and say like, hey, you can't wear those tights, or hey, you can't wear those kind of shoes, because you're not gonna be overly sensitive. You're gonna be like, okay, I received that and I will do better next time, right? And then they're gonna ask you questions like, what was your greatest moment so far? Like, what is accomplishment, something that you've accomplished so far, and how did that make you feel? And then you're gonna explain. So for me, I had lost weight getting ready, and I had told them like how much weight I lost, how it made me feel, how I accomplished it, worked hard, a lot of dedication, yada yada yada, stuff like that. So you want to talk about personal things. Like, what I want to say is, when you go in, if you are going to try and be a makeup artist at Sephora, please do your makeup really, really well, as good as you can in your own retrospect. But if you know that you can't do makeup that well, there is no point of you trying to do some extravagant look on your face and looking like a hot mess, because they will talk about that. They will say, like, they will laugh about it. The girls on the floor will laugh about it. People will laugh about it. You are working in an environment that's majority women, and sometimes women can be very catty. I mean, thankfully the first location that I worked in wasn't that bad, but the second one that I did was definitely like, if you know you can't do something, don't try. Now is not the time to be experimenting. Now is the time to be doing what you know you can do best. If you can kill a winged liner, you do that winged liner and you walk in there with your head high, because that's what they want to see. Someone that's confident, outgoing, bubbly, easy to talk to, can talk openly, and someone that knows what they're doing. So like I said, there are different kinds of worlds, and if you really want to do color, let them know, hey, I want to do color, because they'll try to stick you on cash and you're going to be miserable at work because you really want to be doing people's makeup. You want to have the brush belt on you and you want to do makeup. So why are you going to say, oh, I'm just going to settle for something that I don't want to do? Maybe they won't hire you right away because they just need someone for it. Or maybe you can say, okay, you know what, fine, I'll take it, but let them know that I'm taking this working towards color. This is really where I want to be. Because when I was working there, there was a difference in pay depending on the different areas in the store that you worked in, and depending on your different expertise. Like, the managers get more money than you, sometimes if you work on cash, obviously, and then sometimes if you work in color, you might be getting more money compared to people working on cash. So those are things that you have to consider. Your sneak attack is going to come in and it's going to sneak up on you. If you say that you are here for color, you are going to have to do somebody's makeup that day. So when I went in for my interview, it was a group interview. I was with a bunch of girls. I was talking open. She said, who is going to go out there and do this model's makeup? My hand shot up first, because like I said, you want to be assertive. You want to talk about all the things you've accomplished, and you want to go out there and you really want to show them, like, hey, this is what I got, I can do it. So what I would definitely suggest is, like, practicing on your mom before you go, practicing how to do a smoky eye on your mom, or a winged liner on your mom, or your sister, or your best friend, or your cousin. You're gonna wanna practice. As soon as you know that you're gonna have an interview, start practicing on other people. You should have some experience before, but if you don't, you better practice. And that doesn't mean that you should start panicking and freaking out. Like, no, I'm giving you the tea, I'm giving you the insider so that you know to prepare. Because when preparation meets opportunity, that's when you have your moment to shine. And when you're done your interview, shake all of your manager's hands, look them in the eye, smile, and say, thank you so much for this opportunity. I really had a great time, and I can't wait for you guys to call me so I can work with you. Or, I really enjoyed this. This was so much fun. I can't wait to come back here. Your shoulds and your shouldn'ts. We're gonna start with your shouldn'ts first. You should not go to the interview at the mall with your friends. I wanted to work at Sephora since I was a little girl. And when I finally got the call to go in there, it was only God that had aligned that for me. And I told my best friends. I was 18, I told my best friends. My best friends and I, we all went to the mall. I was dressed in my uniform clothes. It was in a group interview down in the Starbucks. And my friends followed me there without me knowing. And they walked by while I was doing my interview, and I turned bright red. I was so embarrassed, and they were just like looking at me to see how I was doing. You know, I don't know, you know, I'm sure they meant well by it, but the manager saw and I didn't get a call back, you know? So don't go to the interview with your friends. Don't tell your friends to wait for you outside. You're taking care of your business. You're taking care of the bag. You go by yourself. Sometimes it's best to keep people, you know, people surprised. Surprise them. Sometimes it's not even good to tell your own mama, because your own mama might be like, you know, Amanda, I just really want it better for you. And you might be like, what are you talking about? This is my passion, this is my dream. And then they talk you out of it, or you start to doubt yourself. So keep it to yourself, keep it in your heart, be excited, prepare for it, and do it like that. So those are my tips of what you shouldn't do. Also, you should not think that you are the best makeup artist in the entire world and they ought to hire you because you are the Amrezy, the Jackie Aina of your whole friend group. You know how to beat a face, okay? No, you should, we're gonna go into our shoulds now, you should be able to learn. You should be able to be taught, because Sephora has a specific way of doing makeup. And so if you go in there and you're like, no, this is how I do it as a makeup artist, this is how I do it when I freelance, this is how I do it, they're gonna be like, this girl does not listen, and we can't have somebody that doesn't take directions, because you're gonna get us in trouble. There's certain things you are not allowed to do with makeup, such as using a curler, an eye curler on someone. You might damage them. Putting gel in the waterline, you might mess up someone's eye, give them an eye infection. So there are certain things you can't do. So if you go in there and say, I am hot this, I know what to do, don't tell me what to do, I know how to do this eye look, I'm on top, they're not gonna like you because you don't take directions. So for example, I did a half wing liner on my client who had hooded eyes, and the senior makeup artist came over and she told me to connect it. And maybe I didn't connect it perfectly, I didn't do it amazingly, but I connected it. And she was like, very good, because I can take direction, I listen, I follow, I smile, I'm bubbly, I have a good personality, I talk to the client. So when you have your clients and you're doing makeup, you want to talk with them, you want to make them feel comfortable, you want to be like, how are you doing today? How's your day going? How does this makeup look feel? Just be yourself, because these people really want personality. So you should exert your knowledge, but obviously not too much. You should say, I know what I'm doing, but if they step in to show you, just be like, okay, thank you for showing me that. I'll do that next time, I'll do that, blah, blah, blah. You should be willing to learn. You should understand it's sales and it is retail, so don't expect to be getting $20 an hour. Introduce yourself to your coworkers. You should be outgoing. You should want to create relationships, but I'm not saying you have to be friends with everybody, but you should, you know, be friendly enough so that people get to know who you are as a person. You guys want to probably apply now, and you're going to be onboarded November to work the month of November and into December and into January for New Year's and Christmas. So don't expect to be kept on if you are not working. There is a probationary period, and they might have hired you on a seasonal. So if you're not working, I mean assisting people, I mean getting grabbed, asked for help all the time, excited to help people, sometimes even like working over your shift because you were like you're working so hard you didn't realize. Don't be expected to be kept on. You really have to show initiative, because there are girls beside you that might be really nice and really kind, but they want your spot. So you gotta work, okay? It is retail and it's sales. Sometimes you get bonuses because it's sales. Sometimes you get gratis because it's sales, depending on how good you do. It is sales, it is retail, okay? Because we're trying to get the bag, and that's it. And you want to follow your passions. So like I said before, you want to follow your passions. You don't want to be working in fragrance and you hate perfume. You want to be following your passions. So I hope this video was really interesting.